Hello, fifth grade mathematicians. Today we're doing entry task day 104. Let's take a look at problem number 1. Demetria has 1/6 gallons of orange juice. She divides it equally between 3 glasses. Enter the amount of orange juice in gallons in each glass. Well, this is something that we do quite often when we have friends, is we split something up. So let's take a look at what kind of a picture I would draw. So the first thing I would do is I would do a tape diagram, because we're getting really good at these. And she has 1/6 gallon of orange juice. So we're going to just take one of these sections and what is she doing to that? So this whole tape represents a gallon. So she just has 1/6 of the gallon, so her family maybe drank the rest of it, and she's got this much left. Okay, she has 1/6 left, and she splits it into 3 glasses. So let's say that each one of those is a glass, and we want to know how much goes in. That's a little question mark, by the way. How much goes in each glass? So if we set this up as an equation, she has 1/6, and she's dividing it by 3. So we see that 1/6 divided by 3 is like taking 1/3 of the 1/6, which is 1/18 of the whole gallon. So 1/18 gallons would go in each glass. Okie doke. Problem number 2. 6 long jumpers recorded the distances they jumped in meters yesterday. So we have 6 different distances, and the first thing we have to do is let's analyze. Let me get rid of that. Let's analyze what that looks like here in the data. So we have 18/6, which is the same as 3. Then we have 2 1/4, 1 2/4, 12/6 is the same as 2. We have 1 3/4, and then we have 2 3/6. Now we notice that all of the others, after we've simplified the whole numbers, the other ones all are in fourths, with the exception of 2 3/6. So how could we rewrite 2 3/6 into fourths? Because as we look over at our line plot, we notice that the interval is in fourths. So I know that 3/6 is the same as 2/4. So we have 2 2/4. So now let's go ahead and record our data. So we have 1 at 3. We have 1 at 2 1/4. We have 1 at 1 2/4. We have 1 at 2. We have 1 at 1 3/4. And we have the final at 2 2/4. which is the same as 2.5. So the important thing to remember here, again, when we're dealing with fractions, we want to get them all into the same size piece. So that will help us. And in this case, we needed to get them all into fourths because our line plot was in fourths. Okay, problems 3 and 4 are similar because they are both conversion problems. If you look at that, you guys are getting good at these by now. So let's start with 10 pounds is equal to how many ounces? And we know that this is a dry weight because it's pounds. It's a weight, not liquid. So we have 1 pound is equal to 16 ounces. Therefore, we would take 10 times 16 to get 160 ounces. So 10 pounds is equal to 160 ounces. Problem number 2. Enter the number of seconds equal to 7 hours. 7 hours equals how many seconds? 1 hour is 60 seconds. So 7 hours would be 7 times 60, which is 420 seconds. So 7 hours is equal to 420 seconds. And our last problem, again, I'm going to get rid of my scratch pad here. So this is graphing again, but this has to do with a pattern. And we're just going to follow what it tells us to do. So for pattern A, it says to start with 0. So I'm going to start with 0. I'm going to write 0 and add 3. And a pattern continues. So we're going to, 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. 9 plus 3 is 12, and so on and so forth. That would continue on. For pattern B, we start with 1 and we add 1. So the first number would be 1. Then 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. And again, so on and so on. So the directions are to graph 3 points to represent the ordered pairs formed by the first 3 corresponding terms. So corresponding simply means that the first number, that's the first term. So the first term for A is 0, the first term for B is 1, so that ordered pair would be 0, 1. Now this tells us that this is pattern A and pattern B. And when you're graphing, what we've done prior to this is we've done the first number is the x, the second number is the y, but which is what we would, which is how we will do this. But A and B is the same as x and y on the graph. So we typically go in alphabetical order. So we have 0, 1. The next corresponding number or point is 3, 2. And then we have 6 and 3. And it only tells us to do 3. So now we graph it. We start at 0, go over 1 and up 1. That's the first pair. We start at 0 and go over 3 and up 2. That's the second ordered pair. And then we have over 6 and up 3, which would be the third ordered pair. So there you have it. Again, if you have any questions, reach out to your teacher. There are some new concepts that we have done today. And if you're not used to it yet, you will be. The more you see it, the more comfortable with it you become. So we will see you on our next lesson.